before the career fair, people should just first find out what organizations are going to be there, and then do your research on the ones that you're most interested in. Find out as much as you can about them through whatever resources that are available. Usually, you can find out plenty of information online. That information will help maybe start a conversation with them as well. We can maybe talk about that a little bit later. But in addition to that, once you find out what organizations are going to be there, prioritize which ones that you would like to communicate with and talk to. That way, when you go into the career fair, you have an idea of who you want to speak with first, second, and third, and you can make adjustments as necessary. As far as managing your time once you get there, kind of like I alluded to earlier, in your preparation, assuming you've done that, you should look to see where the organizations that you have the most interested in are located, and just kind of move there, and just look at some of the opportunities that might be available, and kind of see which ones tend to be talking to the most people, and so on and so forth. And then from that, you can determine how you kind of put a final plan together as far as who you will approach first, second, and third, so on. As far as what to wear, you definitely not like this, but you certainly want to dress appropriately for these types of occasions. You might be getting an interview right on the spot, so basically you want to let them know you mean business. First impressions are still a big thing. So for men, you want to have proper business attire, such as suit, tie, those types of things. Women should also have appropriate business attire as well. Long sleeves tend to be better. You also want to try to cover up if you have extensive tattoos, things like that. While you don't necessarily have to go all out to prevent them from showing, you certainly want to maybe make them as least as least of a distraction to prospective employers as possible. As far as just starting a conversation, well, obviously the first thing you'd like to do is introduce yourself, and ask them about their organization, what they have to offer, and just kind of express your interests in the organization. Let them know that you're interested in them, and again, assuming you've done your research, that could convey to the prospective employer that you've done your research, and that tells them that, hey, you've gone out of your way to find out about my organization. Therefore, you must actually have an interest in what we have to offer.
After you finish speaking with an employee, you should always ask a few questions at the end of that. These questions should not be something that you could find on the internet, because that just shows that you're asking a question just to ask a question. You should ask a question that only that employer would be able to answer, or somebody within the organization. An example of this would be something like, what is a key characteristic that you're looking for in the open position that you have? Be prepared for the employer to ask you something like, tell me about yourself. It is okay to list past organizations that you've worked for or past positions that you've had, but you don't want to make it into a list. You really want to link the places that you've worked, what you've done, with skills or experiences that you've had. Now with these skills and experiences, you want to link them to different opportunities that you would have with their organization or a position that they have open.
Make sure that you bring plenty of resumes and a business card if you have it. That way you can give them out to prospective employers and exchange business cards with them.
A couple of things that you can do if the lines are long, and they will be. The first of which is network with some of the other folks that are in line. Shake hands, smile, get a little bit of information from other people, what it is that they're doing. You never know when one of those people may be in a job down the line that you met years and years ago at a career fair. The second thing that you should be doing while you are in line is listening to the conversations that are being had at the table by the people in front of you. You can use that information to your advantage if you are listening to what it is that they're saying, what it is that they're asking. It gives you a little bit of time to develop your own answers to the questions, and it makes you a little bit better prepared once you're up at the table. Once the line has cleared and you've made your way up to the table, smile, number one, shake hands, let them know your name, where you're from, and then basically your job is to make as much eye contact as possible. Listen to what it is that they're saying or asking. If you have trouble with the question, don't be afraid to ask them to repeat it. But ultimately, your personality is what it is that you are selling, and along with all of the skills that you have as well. So smile, be bright. Don't walk up there and be like, hey man, this is a professional session here, and you need to be on your best behavior. So walk up to the table, shake hands, smile, and lots of eye contact. Those are the things that you'll need to remember.